Okay. So, can you tell me how many of my typing sessions you've seen before?
I've seen a pretty good amount of them before.
Okay. And do you feel like you understand cognitive functions well?
Um, I think I understand them to the extent um, where it's like I could kind of like explain them each, but I probably couldn't like spot them in another person.
Okay. Um, can you give me some sense of your general schedule for an average day? What kind of what responsibilities you have to attend to, and how much free time you have, and stuff like that?
Yeah, so right now I'm actually in college. So let's see. So on different days throughout the week, I have different classes that start at a few different times. But so like one class starts at 9:30. So I'll usually wake up around like 7:30 a.m. to give me some time to get ready, eat breakfast, and then I'll go to the class. And
What are you
then like,
studying?
can you say that again?
What are you studying?
Uh, my major is kinesiology. Um,
They're like sports injuries.
it can be sports injuries. So kinesiology is like it's the study of human movement. So do you know like anatomy, physiology? Do you know what that
Okay.
is?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
So
it's kind of like.
what
Sorry, you go
what
ahead.
kind of job do you get with that?
So it's for things like physical therapy, personal training, coaching, that
Okay,
kind of stuff.
I see. Okay. What made you decide to go into that?
Um, so I think like after college, I want to become a physical therapist, and it's mainly just because I like the idea of taking care of your body so that you're able to do the things that you want to do.
Well, yeah, that's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you usually, you said you get up a couple hours before class, make sure you have time for breakfast and stuff. Do you usually eat the same breakfast every day, or does it change?
Um, I always eat the same breakfast every day.
What is it?
So it's like I'll eat eggs with either like potatoes or carrots. So, like I eat breakfast in this cafeteria area at my college, and like sometimes they have like carrots in this area, and other times they have like potatoes in that area. So it would be like one or the other depending on which is there. And then I usually get um like some kind of they have these like small, I don't know what you call it. I guess you call it like breakfast desserts. Or like sometimes they'll have a few, donut rolls or something. I might add that with it too. And then I'll eat my breakfast with water.
Okay. Why water? You don't like coffee?
Um, I like the way coffee tastes, and like I'll drink coffee every now and then, but only if I actually need it to feel more energized.
I see. Okay. Is your sleeping schedule pretty regular?
It's it's pretty regular. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
How many hours of sleep do you think you need a night?
at least 8 hours.
Okay. Do you usually get that?
Yeah, I usually get it at least 8 hours.
What happens if you get too little sleep?
If I get too little sleep, sometimes I might feel a little bit lightheaded the next day. Um, there might be a time where miraculously end up feeling fine somehow. But yeah.
Okay. What about exercise? Do you do any regular exercise?
Yeah. So like every other day, I do some strength training where I'll like go and lift weights, and
See.
but between those days, I usually try to get some form of like walking around for some like light cardio in.
Okay. Um, do you? Well, you don't go grocery shopping because you eat at the at the cafeteria. Um, okay. Can you tell me how? Do you remember your fourth grade teacher?
My fourth grade teacher. Um, no.
Okay. Can you tell me any event of significance that happened when you were in fourth grade?
Um, I'm trying. I think like I think there might have been some kind of thing. I know it happened at least one time in elementary school, but it was like some kind of like water day or something we had where a bunch of kids like we got to go outside and play these like water kind of games. I guess I don't remember exactly what they were, but I think it was pretty fun.
Okay. Do you think you changed a lot between elementary school and high school?
But yeah, probably so. Like there
Can you
might
tell me
be.
how you changed?
So I'd say, let's see. I think in elementary school, I was probably more like outgoing and talkative than I am now. And
Okay.
now yeah.
Is there some, do you attribute becoming quieter to anything in particular?
Um, Honestly, not really. It just kind of happened over time.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of like a funny thing that people would talk about where like my mom would talk about how like when I was a kid, I used to be so outgoing and talkative, but now I'm so quiet.
Let's see. Um, okay. Uh, let's see where I want to go here. Is there some reason why you chose to have this conversation with you in the car?
Mainly because it's just away from other people. Like they probably
Quiet.
would it because like I said in the email that I would be okay if you publish this, and people might not be okay with themselves just like being on the internet.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So you don't want people in the background. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Um, Interesting. Okay. So how are you with doing homework? Are you on top of it? Do you procrastinate?
I'm on top of it. I have a I have this physical calendar, and I'll like write down stuff because if I don't like write down stuff, I might forget it. So I make sure to write down stuff on a calendar, and that helps me stay on top of it.
Okay. Do you have plans for like 10-year plan, 20-year plan? Do you have an idea about whether you want to say get a significant other or have kids or anything like that?
Um, Honestly, no. Maybe I should. I don't know, but I don't.
Okay. I mean, it's hard to plan for so far in the future, really, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Um, all right. So let's ask you to break down into the optimal number of steps doing the laundry.
All right. I get the basket of laundry. I That would be step one. Then step two, I take the basket of laundry to the laundry machine. Step three, I um, open the lid to the laundry machine and put put the clothes inside the laundry machine. Step four, I close the lid. And then step five, I click the button to start the laundry. And then,
Right.
do you want me to go into like after that, I put it into the drying machine and stuff? For
That's fine. That's fine. Can you
Okay.
break down the task of giving yourself a haircut into exactly 4 steps?
So let's just assume that it only requires scissors and and hairspray. So if that was the case, I would get a bottle to spray water and scissors. I would squirt my hair with the water, and actually, I would also probably need a comb as well. So I'd get like a comb, a spray bottle, and scissors. I would spray my hair with the water. I would use the comb to kind of like pull the hair out, and then I would cut it with the scissors.
Is that 4 steps?
Honestly, I forgot to keep track of the steps.
Okay, well, can you do it again with exactly 4 steps?
Okay, yeah, I'll try that part again. Okay, so wet hair, comb hair out, cut hair, then clean up hair that was cut off.
All right, cool. Um, how do you feel about, or what are some things that are very precious or important to you?
Um, I think nature is precious and important. I think music is precious and important, and other people. And I also think that dogs are precious and important.
Okay. Do you play music or just listen to it?
Just listen to it.
Okay, but it's a significant part of your life to play music on in the background.
Yeah.
And what kind of stuff do you listen to?
Um, it kind of varies. As of right now, the genres that I like are hard wave and dance music.
Okay. All right. Do you listen to that when you're studying?
No, I don't really do the whole like listening to music while studying thing. I think it
Find
helps
it
with me.
distracting?
You say that again?
Do you find it distracting?
Yeah.
Okay. Even if it doesn't have any lyrics?
Yeah, I don't really listen to music for the lyrics. It's kind of just for the sound.
Okay, cool. Um, all right. Can you tell me how many different reasons you can think of why a person might want to join the submarine crew in the Navy?
Okay, so one reason could be they have a family member that went, so they want to continue following in their footsteps. One reason could be they've always liked the ocean and they want to be around the ocean. One reason
Okay.
could be that they want to become more disciplined in their life. Let's see.
Those are reasons to join the military, the last two, but not really, or the Navy, particularly the second to last one, but not really specifically the submarines.
I'm sorry, can you explain that part again?
Yeah, I'm saying your last two reasons, one like you like the ocean, or the you want discipline in your life. Those are reasons why you might join the military in general, and not specific to the submarines.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Can you give me reasons why someone might specifically want to join the submarines?
Um, there isn't the submarines where it's like, those like ships that are underwater kind
Yeah,
of thing. Yeah.
underwater boats.
Um, um, I can't really think of any different ones. Them.
Okay, cool. Um, all right. Let me ask you some TI questions. If only fishermen catch fish, and I'm a fisherman, do I necessarily catch fish?
No,
Okay. If some toads are named Steve, and all things named Steve like baseball, is it necessarily the case that some toads like baseball?
yes,
Okay. If no penguins eat cheese, and I don't eat cheese, am I necessarily a penguin?
no,
Okay. Can you tell me who my mother's husband's only daughter's only brother is in relation to me?
your uncle.
No, it's me.
Oh,
Myself.
okay.
Yep. Okay. Let's see here. So can you think of an example of something minor that's happened, say, I don't know, in the last couple months that's made you mad at yourself? For example, right just recently, just right now, I was trying to get this toolbox out of my little wilderness car. But instead of being smart and going around to the side where it was and getting it from there, I tried to pick it up across the thing like an idiot, and I got stuck on the steering wheel. I was like, God damn it, Eric, you dumbass. Don't do it so dumb. Can you think of something? It doesn't have to be like that. It could be whatever it is. It could be you stubbed your toe. Could be you forgot to say thank you. Could be any number of things that makes you mad at yourself.
Um, um, if I had to say, it would probably be like like forgetting to do something.
Okay. All right. What do you think you're more likely to where do you think you're more likely to make a mistake? Accidentally be rude to somebody or accidentally forget to pick up something on the way home you meant to pick up?
Definitely accidentally forget to pick something on the way home that I was supposed to pick up.
Okay. What's going to make you more mad at yourself? Forgetting to pick something up on the way home or leaving some object of yours, some tool or something out in the rain and it gets ruined?
Probably leaving the object out in the rain and then it gets ruined.
Okay. Do you think you're likely to do that?
No.
Okay. What about stub your toe or not leave yourself enough time to get something completed?
Not leave myself enough time to get something completed.
Okay. What objects that you own, physical objects, are important to you or you use a lot or you value highly?
My car, so that I can like go places.
Okay.
My phone.
Okay. Do you take good care of your car? Is it clean?
Yeah.
And do you check the oil and stuff like that?
Um, yeah, I mean, like I don't personally do it, but like if it needs to get checked, then I'll have it get checked.
Do you check the tire pressure?
No.
Okay. Um, where you live, is it like a dorm room or an apartment or what?
It's a dorm room.
Okay. Have you done much like decorating in there or you just is utility?
Um, I don't really. Well, there's like a little bit of decorating. Like I have like, but not a lot. Like it's one picture in there that I like, and there's like a carpet in there, and then that's pretty much the amount of decoration that there is.
Okay. When you go to classes and stuff, do you make an attempt to socialize with others or are you just in and out?
I'm just in and out.
Okay. So do you do much socializing or are you just kind of attending to your own things?
Um, well, I would say mostly just kind of attending to my own things. Like I've recently have been trying to get myself to socialize more. So now I've recently made it to where like every day when I'm eating dinner, I'll try to have it be with friends. But other than that, there's not a lot of socialization like outside of classes.
Do you feel like you don't want or need a lot of it or that you just haven't found a group of people to socialize with yet?
I've definitely found people to socialize with. It's just like I don't need a lot of it. I just kind of need like that one moment of socialization during a day or during the week,
Gotcha.
and then I'm good.
Gotcha. Okay. When's the last time you went on a vacation?
Um, like last summer, I think.
Where did you go?
I think it was Okay, so it was me and my mom and like my sister. There were two places we went. It was either I think it was Washington D.C. I think.
You think? Where did you like? Did you see any sights?
Okay, yeah, yeah. So like at Washington D.C., I saw like the Lincoln Monument. I think I'm saying that word
Memorial,
right. Memorial.
Lincoln
That's what.
Memorial.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's in Washington D.C.
yeah. And then
Do
I
you?
saw. I forgot what it's called, but like there's this weird like slender tower thing where at the top is shaped like a pyramid. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay. Do you have a favorite moment from that trip?
It was probably being around like basically what I was just saying, like the Lincoln Monument, and then like the other
The
the other
Colonial
thing I
One.
yeah, like the other thing that I described. And like
Okay.
I like the area around that because there was some kind of like lights that came on from the ground, and it like made the area look cool.
I see. Do you like to travel?
Um, yeah, I like to travel. Now when I say that, like I haven't actually traveled a lot, but when I do travel, I like it. Yeah.
If you could travel anywhere, where would you go?
Um, I don't really know. I'm not like too familiar with how a lot of places outside of America are like.
Okay. Um, all right. So I'm going to tell you the first part of a story, and I want you to finish the story for me, okay?
Okay.
Once upon a time, there was a lady named Miranda, and she went into town to buy a bucket of apples. But on her way into town, she encountered two dogs, and the two dogs were arguing. The first dog saying, I have the better fur, keeps me warm, and it's long and flowing. The second dog said, no, I have the better fur. It's cool in the summer, and it's short and crisp. And then the lady said, Miranda said, hey, well, you two dogs can talk? And one of the dogs said, never mind that. My name's Shorthair, and that's Longhair over there. And we want you to resolve our argument. Who has better hair? Now you finish the story.
Well, first dog, the short haired dog says to long haired dog, well, since my hair keeps me cool in the summer, that means that I'm not gonna overheat and get a heat stroke. And then long haired dog says to short haired dog, well, yeah, but my hair is longer, so I'm not gonna freeze during the winter. And then the the lady that walked near them hears them arguing about it, and she tells him, well, really, both y'all's hair lengths are equally beneficial, just in different ways. His hair keeps his body at optimal temperatures during the uh, winter, she said to the short haired dog. And then she told the long haired dog, well, the short haired dog's hair keeps him an optimal temperature during the summer. And then the short-haired dog tells the long-haired dog, you know what? I was actually just kind of jealous because when it's during the winter, I don't have long enough hair to keep me warm like you have. And then the long-haired dog says to the short-haired dog, now that I think about it, that's kind of the same way for me. I just kind of wish that during the summer I had shorter hair. That way I wouldn't get as hot during the summer. And at that point, they decided to become friends, and it was a happy ending.
Okay, sounds good. All right, now I'm going to give you a long sentence that has a lot of redundancies in it and unnecessary details, and I want you to make it as short and sweet as possible, okay?
Okay.
For men and women who have an interest in sea creatures, be they starfish or sea anemones or fish themselves, and saltwater environments in general, perhaps the exciting field of saltwater aquarium selling could become a field that you excel in, a field in which you'll have the opportunity to fill tanks filled with salt water and maintain the careful balance of minerals and salts that they need, and see life bloom before you in the form of many sea creatures, of fish, sea anemone, and starfish that you buy and keep in your tanks. People can buy them from you, and you can make a lot of money doing that.
Okay. What did you say the name of the career was?
Saltwater aquarium person.
Okay, saltwater aquarium person. So the redundancy would be if you like salt water and salt water shells, then you might like becoming a saltwater aquarium person.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, so um let me see here. Tell me about your wardrobe, the clothes you wear, whether they differ from day to day, whether you put any thought into it, if so, if you prioritize things like stuff that has pockets, for example.
Okay, so yeah, I like for my shorts or pants to have pockets. So when it comes to shorts, I have a few like cargo shorts. I like those because they have those pockets on the side that I can keep stuff in. Um, Other than that, I like in terms of just like fashion sense, I guess, clothes that are kind of like fashionable, but then like basic at the same time. And I also make sure to wear stuff that works with the weather.
Okay. How much do you notice other people's fashion?
I notice it a good amount.
And do you have an opinion? Like, I cannot believe she's wearing that.
No, I don't really have those kind of opinions. I mean, like I might jokingly think that, like, where it's like they're wearing this and it looks so goofy, haha, whatever. But it doesn't like actually bother me or anything.
Okay, so when you have free time, you've gotten everything you need to get done, you've socialized at dinner, you're back home, what do you do?
Um, I, I'll I'll usually like scroll through YouTube or watch something watch something on YouTube that I'm interested in, like typology, for example.
Okay, besides typology, what are some other kinds of YouTube videos you watch?
I watch some YouTube videos that are like I'm trying to think of a way to describe it. So like a person given their maybe like a person given their opinion around a particular topic, or like I might watch a video about someone talk about fitness and why they think that certain exercises are important to do because it helps you maintain this kind of physical functioning, or something like that. Or I might also watch some videos where it's like let's see, like a person reacting to some kind of show or movie, or like talking about some kind of show.
Okay. I'm going to tell you about a new invention I have, and I want you to come up with possible snappy names for it for the marketing department. Okay.
Okay.
It's a frozen dinner that has inside of it a frozen fork that defrosts with the meal so that it's ready to go, perfectly temperature to eat with by the time the meal is done. So you don't have to have your own fork.
Okay, so it's a frozen dinner, you said?
Yeah, it's a frozen dinner, but unlike most frozen dinners, this one has a fork that comes with it inside of the dinner. It's just frozen on a block of ice so that as it defrosts, as the meal cooks, the block of ice around the fork melts away, just exactly such that when it's done, fork's the right temperature to use to eat.
Okay. I call it the melt meat.
Okay, that's a
Uh,
fine name. That's a good one. One more. Give me some more.
um, the 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 ice pork. Um,
Okay.
um, the freeze the freeze meats.
Okay. That's fine. Um, so what do you think? I'm gonna ask you about some different values. And I want you to tell me what you think it's more important for other people to uphold in the world. So, like, basically, if they don't do meow, if they're not meow, that makes you not respect them very much. Okay. I'm going
Okay.
to ask you, like, which one causes you to more disrespect? So, um, if they're not very concise, if they take a long time to say everything, or if they're repeat things that they've said before.
Probably if they're not very concise and take a long time to say anything.
Okay.
Like I wouldn't say it out loud, but in my head I might be thinking like, okay, let's get to the point.
Okay. How about if somebody's rude or somebody's careless with expensive stuff that they have?
Um, if someone's rude,
Okay. How about if someone's chronically late, or if someone always dresses super sloppy?
If someone's chronically late,
All right, what about late or rude?
if someone's rude,
Okay. Um, how do you feel about networking? Like, do you feel as though you get a lot accomplished by knowing the right people and saying the right things, or by some other mechanism?
um, probably networking. I mean, yeah.
Okay. Can you say the following sentence first normally and then sarcastically? The sentence is, "Oh, how wonderful, you got me a log."
A log.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, how wonderful. You got me a log would be the normal voice. And then sarcastically would be like, well, that's just wonderful. You got me a log.
Okay. All right. Um, do you think that you are more likely to be efficient or correct?
Um, um, Probably correct.
Okay. Are you better at solving people's problems or understanding their difficulties, like understanding their pain? Are you better at dealing with them in terms of practicalities or emotionalities?
Um, Probably emotionalities.
Okay. Uh, when do you feel in life like cramp, baby? Fuck yeah, self, you did it. You scored.
Um, Probably if if I'll say a few things. One of them would be like if someone told me that they really appreciate the ways that I've been for them. And then another one would be like if there was something that I was scared of doing, but then I overcame the fear and did it anyway.
Okay. Okay. I feel pretty confident I know what type you are,
Oh, okay.
but I'm not 100% sure. I've kind of got narrowed down to two types.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
you feel you describe, like, how do you visualize yourself and your own life? Do you see yourself at the forefront of a succession of events trailing behind you in the past, or do you see yourself like in the center of a circle of events happening around you with varying degrees of distance, or something else?
Do you mind explaining that in a different way?
Well, I guess the thing is, when I think about myself, I think of my past as defining who I am now. And I
Mm-hmm.
look backwards mostly for understanding of things, sometimes to my annoyance. Like everything as I go through life, as I see things and do things, they remind me of things from the past and connect me with things to the past. Whereas Rachel, uh, in as an alternative to that, she moved forward very much present forward focused, like
Okay.
open to knowing about what's happening now and going forward, rather than me knowing about what's happening now as a continuation of what's happened before.
Okay. So one is kind of like I went through this in the past and that shaped me. And then the other one is kind of like, as I'm doing more of this moving forward, that's shaping me kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that it's just a matter of how whether your state of awareness is keeping track of all of your experiences or paying attention to things unfolding and how they're unfolding.
Probably, I would say for me, probably keeping track of experiences.
Okay.
So like, I might not, well, though I might not like remember experiences, like kind of like with the beginning of this video was like, tell me the name of your teacher in elementary school. But yeah,
That's a long time. I mean, obviously that's a long time ago. But for example,
okay,
let me give you an example of me walking through my day so far, and then I want you to try to do the same thing. Okay.
okay,
So I got up at 7 o'clock approximately, or 7:30 ish or something, because I thought I had a typing session at 9 a.m. It was actually at 1 p.m. because I got it confused with Wednesday. Um, and so then I got up, I went to the bathroom, I walked outside, and I took off the little boxes I'd put over my seedlings outside because it was really cold last night. And then I came back inside and I went to the TV. I turned it on. I made a pot of coffee, and then I sat back down. And then I watched a couple episodes of this thing called The Pacific on Netflix. And then I watched a couple of like World War II video things on YouTube because I'm watching a lot of World War II shit lately. Then I went over to the other house and I finished cleaning up over there and brought my tools back and stuff like that. So can you give me a step-by-step progression of your day like that?
I can try to right now. So like this morning, I woke up out of bed and I made my bed and I went and turned on my phone to check the weather. And then I went and got out the clothes that I'm gonna wear for the day. And then I brushed my teeth. After that, I took a shower. Or like I walked down the hallway in my dorm to the area that has showers, and I went in there and I went into the shower stall and I set um, my shower and supplies on this little shelf in there. Then I took a shower, and then after that, I left the shower, and then I walked back down the hallway to my dorm room, and I put the supplies on the like next to a little sink in there, and I put on this kind of like I put on this kind of like facial cleanser thing, and
All right, that's fine. Thank you. That's great.
okay,
All right, I feel confident about what type you are now.
okay,
I I believe you to be an ISTJ.
ISTJ, okay.
Yeah. Can you tell me what you thought you were coming in?
Coming in, there were a few I was thinking. I was thinking, um, ISTP, um, INFJ.
Sure.
I was mainly thinking like between one of those two.
Okay. Well, you have too much NE for ISTP. So I gave you all the polar tests, and I would say that you tested positive for FE polar. I was trying to figure out INTJ or ISTJ. I just don't see the FE, and I know that, and I think what I hear from you is absolute values are FI and SE for yourself as scorecards. So that's consistent with ISTJ. An ISTP wouldn't be able to give me more than like one name for that invention, and would give me less of a detailed explication of the story. You also did an excellent job in articulating the details of the day, which is consistent with SI Dom. Also, your amount of sleep you you like to get and the regularity of your schedule and stuff is all consistent with SI.
Okay.
And the thing is, with third slot FI, it's natural for you to feel as though you have good emotional connectivity with other people. So it's not inconsistent with ISTJ. I think ISTJs are surprisingly emotional people, and probably that aspect of them doesn't get talked about enough. They care a lot. And what you said would be you feel a lot of score points when somebody says, "Hey, I really appreciate what you did for me."
Yeah.
That's very much FI third.
Okay.
Do you have any questions? Would you like to direct my attention someplace? We've got about 10 minutes left.
Are there any like certain Enneagram types that you notice ISTJs usually are?
I don't know about that, but I can give you my Enneagram test if you want. It's quick.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So first, I'm going to ask you, why do you not need to feel ashamed of yourself? Is it because you're helpful, you're high achieving, or because screw you and your expectations?
Because either I'm helpful or high achieving, one of those two.
Okay.
Probably helpful more so.
Okay. Next question. Some big scary thing is coming down the pike. Do you not need to be scared of it because you research it in full, so now you know all about it, so it's not so scary anymore? Because you've got your defenses and your ways, and you can rely on them to defend you against whatever? Or because, oh, I'm sure it's going to go bother somebody else, not me. I'm just going to put my head in the sand and pretend it's not there.
Probably because I researched it.
Okay. And last one, anger. If somebody comes at you with anger, like, hey, you parked in my spot, you motherfucker. Do you respond with anger? Or do you say, okay, fine, if they're going to be that mad about it, you can take the spot? Or do you say, you know what? I'm not going to talk to you because you're all mad.
What was the last one?
Like, I'm not going to talk to you if you're going to be all mad. You need to calm down before I talk to you.
Okay, and then the one before that?
And before that was, fine, if you're going to be so mad about it, why don't you just have the parking space? It's not that important to me.
Probably that one.
Okay. Which of those questions do you think was easiest to answer?
I'd say the first one.
Okay, and what was the second easiest to answer?
The last question.
Okay, so then you're a 295. Let's go
2-9.
inside and look, and we'll look up on the internet what that's called, and we'll read what it says, and you see if you agree with it.
Okay.
295. All right. Lower this down. There. Okay. Two nine five. Two nine five. The positivist. Gain comfort from positivity, follow strategies to help create a positive image, but can be undone if environment is adverse. 295, positivist. This category of two fives and nine. Like any combination, any permutation of 2, 9, and 5 is called the problem solver. Do you identify as a problem solver?
Not exactly, but I think the first part, did you say like positivist?
Yeah, the positivist.
Yeah, like I have always cared about like positivity and staying positive.
It does say gains comfort from positivity.
Yeah, that part's definitely me.
Do you think you follow strategies to create a positive image?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. I mean, because what? There's a mouse? Oh, dead mouse. Cats bring them in, you know. It's okay. Because like if you were a 529, that one is called the humanitarian, knowledgeable, good-natured, enjoys helping others, drawn to social sciences, cooperative, enjoys solving conflict. You know,
That I would say
and
that's
is that one
probably
more like you?
sorry about that.
My bad.
Yeah, I would say like the first combination or the second combination, like I can probably see like either one of those.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I find that Enneagram is useful in explaining basically in explaining your feelings, you know. How
Yeah.
do you feel when how do you deal with when you feel sad? I mean, when you feel scared, how do you deal with it when you feel mad?
Hmm.
And how do you deal with it when you feel ashamed? Or how do you prevent those feelings, you know?
Hmm.
So I don't really see them as very explanatory of personality type as much as some other people think they are. Like most of the things that people attribute to Enneagram, I think, are actually attributable to cognitive function.
Gotcha.
Do you have any other questions or thoughts?
Um, no, not really.
Okay. Would you like me to share this with you privately, or are you comfortable with me publishing?
I'm okay with you publishing.
Okay, great. Thanks. That's great. I will post this either for this evening or tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Okay, thanks so much. Have a great day.